Today we're going to podcast, I think. So that's going to consist of me and Ethan talking. Mostly probably me. Or maybe I'm going to let Ethan lead this episode. So, all right.
Okay. All right.
Have
Well,
fun out there.
welcome to the Motor Academy podcast,
Yep.
the number one podcast in motocross.
Webinar.
Today we are talking about some Supercross. Today we're talking about some exciting things that we have that we just launched at the Moto Academy. And obviously, if you guys are regular listeners to the episodes, we're on tour. We're going all over the place. Our early access pricing just ended, so unfortunately you missed out on that. But AJ, maybe you want to tell them about the very cool thing that we just launched?
Yes. So as you guys have seen, and we've told the whole community, we did raise our prices, right? And immediately when we did that, I knew that I wanted to, the reason I hadn't raised, have I talked about this on the podcast yet?
We talked about it, which would
Probably
have been 2
7
episodes
different
ago.
times. Knowing me.
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't want to raise my prices for the longest time because I didn't want to, screw the people that were me growing up, or the families that were like us that couldn't afford $2,000 for the week. So what we did is we created a scholarship program. It just went live. And this scholarship program is based on household income. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's set up to where if your household is $80,000 a year or less household income, then you qualify for like 40% off. It's pretty drastic. Yep. It's not just $100 off. It's 40% off. That's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And then if your household makes less than $60,000 a year, then you get, I think, 60% off. Is that right?
Correct.
Look at me go. Got the details right. So huge savings. And that's well over $1,000 off. So this will make it accessible to those families. And I was really particular in household income threshold. I think originally when it came to me, when I told the team to go out, kind of design this, that's how things work. And then it comes back to me. It was maybe 40,000 and 60,000 for the household incomes. And I said, no, let's bump those up. And we might have even bumped the savings up more from the first time that it hit my eyes. But I wanted to make sure that it could really help the families that were where I was, right? So that is available now. You can go to the website, you can apply, and it's super simple. The application form probably take 3 minutes, and you'll hear back within 24 hours, and we'll get you set up and dialed in. Not only that, you can take advantage of the scholarship program, but then you can kind of double down and you can use our in-house financing. So you could get that 40 or 60% off. And then if you're looking further out in the future, let's say you're looking 12 months out to book a camp, you can spread out 0% payments throughout those 12 months. So you can get that down to as little as about $100 a month, which is killer, right?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, I just want to take the money out of the equation for people. And hopefully that's what it did. But scholarship program, apply.
Very cool. So speaking of tour, you were just out in California, which would have been maybe 2 weeks ago from when this episode comes out. How was that?
Yeah, shout out Club Moto. Beautiful. Have you been to that track yet?
No, okay. But I've seen clips online. It's like right on a highway, right?
Yeah, so that's the negative. And I always forget about how loud. I mean, so this was my schedule. I flew out from Connecticut to Oakland, landed, I don't remember what day it was, but landed, had class the next day in Club Moto, which is in a town called Livermore. Beautiful place, scenically beautiful. And I timed it to where all of the hills were as green as I've ever seen California. And this is Northern California, but as green as I've ever seen it. And it's a super convenient location. I mean, like restaurants, hotels, Starbucks in the morning. I'm not talking like 15 minutes away. I'm talking like 0.8 miles from the track. It's right there.
I remember the selfie video you sent. You like pointed, and you could like kind of get an idea of where it was from the track.
It's amazing. So I could have walked there from the hotel that I stayed at, which was really cool. But the negative is it is wedged in between a pretty busy road, single lane road that's very busy, and then a highway. And the real negative about this highway is it's going down a steep hill. So a lot throughout the day, it's big semi trucks going down with like their air brakes or whatever that noise is, right?
Yeah.
And so I had that class on day one. another kind of thing that made it tough for me is it was over 40 riders, right?
Yeah.
And which is fine, but what it does is it just makes my job harder, right? It's like it takes 100% more effort to make the customer experience feel equal to what it is if there's 30 or if there's 20 people. So I'm yelling all day to try to yell over the highway. And it was hot. It was like 85 degrees and sunny, beautiful day. Track was perfect, but I was toast. Who did we have at Club Moto? I feel like we had Hollis.
We had Hollis, yeah.
We had Hollis Yates, who is TMA ambassador, has the helmet, looked legit, had brand new graphics on with the Moto Academy logo on there. I'm trying to think. There were definitely some other app people there that their names are escaping me at the moment, but that was a cool group, and it always is. It always is.
Well, what I thought was pretty cool too was the when you went around and asked everybody their ages.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a wide demographic. Like the oldest guy being 71, the youngest kid being 5 years old, and like the average age for the class was 29. Right. Funny enough, actually, somebody commented it. Nobody was in their 20s.
What?
It was
really?
Either they were like 17, 18, or like 30 plus. Yeah, there was not one single person that was in their 20s. So
whoa. And that
wild.
is consistent with our demographic. You know why?
Yeah. Because the 20-year-olds think they're too good.
No. What else?
No. I don't know.
The 20-year-olds usually can't afford it. The 20-year-olds are the ones that are, life is kind of in the way.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point.
They've either just gotten out of school or their job, like they're probably just buying houses. They're just getting their family start. Like, yeah, that's super common. The 20 and forget about all of that. A lot of times 20 is where we lose people from the sport altogether. And then they come back later on. Now I'm trying to make sure that that's not a thing, but that's super common. But that's wild. And somebody picked up on that in the comments. They're like, no one.
Yeah, somebody commented about it. And it popped off too. I think it's a little over 130K right now. So,
but
definitely something we should do more often.
Did you catch whoever created the initial one, it would not have performed that way with that other text hook and without I sent another one. So I would just do it the same exact way.
Yeah. No, that was definitely
and
me.
we could just, that was you. We could do it.
Yeah.
We could do it. That could be an every class thing. Why not? I feel like it's just cool,
100%.
Right?
Well, yeah, and then it gives the people who are at the class like feel special for getting put on the socials. Because that's one thing I've always kind of struggled with is like, how do I highlight these people who attend the classes? Like, it's obviously impossible to get a clip with everybody, a teaching moment or something, right? So even if it's just 2 seconds, they're saying their age or like saying their age and something quick on the video. I think it's just cool for the viewer.
Yeah,
for the customer.
No, big time. And for the viewer, it's like relatability. I think anyone could watch that same style of video from every class and never really get sick of seeing it, because you'd always would be curious as to, okay, let's see this class. Like, what are we working with? So I did it again. Yeah.
Well, it gives us a good idea of like what our demographic is too. Like we could compile those numbers throughout the year, right? Like create a spreadsheet and really, I just think that'd be cool for like a nerd perspective to figure out like how many different types of people do we have.
Yeah.
Right? But
we had younger, the day two, we had younger. So we had Little Danger was there. He just turned 4.
Yep.
So we got a video of him napping mid-class, which was hilarious. The way it worked out, like, so he finishes his set. This was kind of deeper into the day. This was like nap time. It's like 2 p.m. And his mom's got the umbrella set up. I think he ate a little snack. And next thing you know, I turn around and he's just snoozing. And you want to know what's funny is I don't remember much from when I was like really little, but I remember always going to sleep while on the gate. Always. When I was 4, 5, 6, 7, I always would take naps. It was partially like I think I was a little nervous too, so it would just make me sleepy for some reason. Yeah. But I would always take a nap on the gate. And so he's just napping during like all of my talking during the other set. And then his mom woke him up, I'm talking 10 seconds before his set was ready to go out. And he's just like, this is me, we're going? And he just fires his bike up and takes off. So
dude, he
funny.
is an absolute beast. And like, also shout out, first day on the E2 full size, or sorry, E5 full size bike, right? Yep. When he sent the video and I saw him like sitting on it, I was like, oh my gosh, he looks like an ant on the bike, but he rips. So
he rode it
just shout out.
amazing. I was trying to tighten up the footwork a lot of the day, but by the end of the day, he was starting to grasp, okay, like keep my feet on more, be more specific about where my feet are so he could actually control it. Because he's so small on it right now that his legs are at full extension almost to just like get to the foot pegs. Yeah. Not quite. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not far off from that. So, but yeah, I think we'll see those guys again at either Colorado or Utah camp. Was the next time I think awesome. I'll be able to see them. But yeah, they were there. So he was the youngest, 4. And then I think the oldest we had a couple of 69-year-olds at the second camp. So yeah, rewinding a bit, Club Moto, shout out to you guys. Northern California is awesome. That's a location we're going to put a 5-day camp for sure. For sure. I love it there. I love the people there. And then flew straight that night to Vegas, which is always weird. I'll never go to Vegas and not think of Supercross. It just I went there so many years in a row for the final round of Supercross that flying in there, I just like get flooded with memories of that. Yeah. And so flying to Vegas late too, landed at like 9 p.m., got to the hotel, stayed at Virgin Hotel, which was actually pretty cool. It all just got redone, like the pool area. Not that I used it, but it looked sweet. Got a good salmon in right before, got some Brussels sprouts in.
Oh boy.
Went to sleep by like 11, but I was like pretty roasted at this point and just sunburn, voice was gone, pretty tired. I'm like, uh-oh, this is gonna be tough. So wake up the next morning and had class at Sandy Valley, which you haven't been here yet either. Sandy Valley, it's from Vegas. You drive through the most desert of deserts that you've ever seen for a while. I mean, it's all of an hour drive straight through the middle of nowhere, and then you pop out at a sweet track. They've got all lights set up because I think they do a lot of the riding and racing at night because it's just the desert. It's too hot.
So hot, yeah.
But the layout's sweet. Every single jump basically it's got a plateau or a halfway point. So they're like these.
Sweet. So it's perfect for me.
Dude, they're sweet. And even to get to the halfway point, fun. They're not like lame little 5-foot jumps. It's like a cool thing to get to that halfway point, and then to get the full distance, a lot of them are pretty big. Yeah. And long rolling landings, so super forgiving, like a really cool place to work jumps. Much easier class for me, although it was 95 degrees out. And so, so back-to-back days that were hot. Second day was super hot. And, but it was like 27 riders, so less people, totally no noise pollution whatsoever. So, which felt amazing, like to be able to just speak kind of normal human level of voice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was nice. We had some Seasons Pass members there. We had Little Danger there. We had a lot of guys. We'll have to go back and look at that video, but I want to say there was at least 5 to 7 guys that were probably 55 years old or older. There was a pilot, Delta pilot, that I had met at an airport like 2 weeks before that.
No, and he was we get a lot of pilots.
Ton of pilots. And I don't know if it's one of those things where I pay attention to it now because I started doing flight classes and people were talking to me about flying or what, but we have so many pilots.
I think it was Ty's American Airlines story on a couple podcasts. That's what did it.
Yeah.
Super cool. Well, speaking of salmon, I want to give myself a pat in the back here. My dad was out. Yeah, just one of these. My dad and my sisters were not home the other night, so they normally cook dinner. So I had to cook myself dinner, and I made myself salmon, and it was actually really good. So if anybody wants salmon,
where did you get the recipe from?
To be honest with you, I just put butter on it and then some lemon pepper seasoning and called it a day.
How did you know how long to cook it for?
Oh, it might have been frozen. But it was like a wild fillet. It was a good frozen. I just thawed it out, and then it said like 5 minutes. But,
that's it. 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So it was like 5 minutes at 425. But my dad's like a super health freak in like a good way, right? Like he eats really good all the time. So he bought it. I'd imagine that it's good stuff. But made some rice, made some salmon, and I ate like a king. It was cool. Yeah.
Shout out salmon.
No, for real.
Shot at
Actually,
salmon.
I'm not much of a big seafood guy, but I can mess up some salmon. Absolutely. Which it's not seafood, but fish. But yeah, I don't
Yeah, in the
know. I
Catanzaro
wanted to share that with you
household,
guys.
salmon and cod all
Yeah,
the time. I'd say
cod's good
probably
too.
2 to 3 days a week. It's just simple too, and it's also like one of those dishes that couple things. One, I don't get sick of it that quickly. Where
Yeah,
like red meat, sometimes I eat red meat, and I'm just like I don't want to see it again for a couple weeks.
yeah,
And also, same thing with red meat. I feel light after I'm done eating it. Like I just feel
yeah.
good.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good too. Tuna steak. I don't know if you ever had a tuna steak before. I think it's just like I don't know, a piece of tuna,
Uh-huh.
but it's so good.
We have tuna a lot
My
in this
dad chefs
household
up.
too. Actually, well, no, too. Allie makes like these mayo, for not cucumbers, or maybe it's cucumbers. No, uh-oh.
Something good.
Millie's not happy up there.
Uh-oh. I
She
miss Mill
hasn't
Dogs.
eaten
I
yet
haven't seen her
today
in a while.
at all. No food. So I don't know
Oh
what's going
boy.
on. Yeah. It's 4 o'clock, so that's not good.
Also, just not to change topics again. I've been seeing the videos that you posted one the other day in an alley. She's like a wicked good rock climber.
Oh,
That's nuts.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
The way that so obviously, like, I'm impressed with everything that she does because I'm her dad. But if you guys have seen these videos of her climbing, I mean, and I don't know anything about rock climbing, so I don't know how to teach her, but I am a good teacher and I know how to like give prompts that make sense. So all I say when
Yeah.
she's going up the wall is I'll say, watch your feet, watch your hands, watch your feet. So like you can see her as she's climbing, which is what rock climbers do. Like she's spotting the feet out. She's really precise with where the hands go. She'll look for the next foot spot. And she goes, so every time we go, she's probably getting about 3 to 4 feet higher. And she's starting to really figure out the auto belay thing, like dropping down and using her feet to it's
Push off,
hysterical.
yeah.
And
Ah,
she's just turned 2. So like the next youngest person that we've seen there is, I don't know, 11.
no
And
way.
so like crowds of people will come over and watch and they're just like, what is happening here?
No way. Yeah, I will have put up a video on the screen by this point. But yeah, I was pretty impressed.
It's so
Nuts.
funny. I was going
I
to put
couldn't
up
do it.
something about like training for, to smoke all the boys in Supercross one day.
Hey, I mean, listen, she's pretty nice on the strider, so get her on the stay secure soon, and then before you know it, she'll be on a P-dub, right?
Yeah.
So
And I don't know
maybe go right to an E2.
does, do we all know this yet? I don't know who I've told and who I haven't. Maybe it's supposed to be a secret. I don't know, but we're having a boy.
I did know.
Okay.
I wasn't supposed to know, but I did know.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know? Did I tell you?
No, I mean, sorry, it was either Britt or Aiden. One of the two told me. I can't remember.
Britt or Aiden? So Britt told Aiden.
Yeah, I don't. Must have, yeah. Or maybe Aiden was next to me. I can't remember.
So with having, this is the dynamic that I picture. I don't know, parents listening to this, you could tell me I'm crazy, but I just feel like having Millie as the older sister, she's never going to want her younger brother to beat her in any athletic endeavor, probably.
Oh, no
right?
way.
So she's just going to have that nudge all the time.
100%.
I am so excited. It's just crazy. I know everyone, it's tough because it's like, I know everyone thinks their kid is amazing, but she's an absolute unit of an athlete. And she's only 2 years and 4 months. So who freaking knows? But
Yeah.
she just has so much coordination and calculation. It's cool.
Now that the public knows you're having a boy, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are you gonna keep your promise and name the boy Ethan, or
Yeah.
is it gonna be Albert?
Yeah, actually first and middle name. So Ethan Catanzaro.
I like
I
it.
thought
Yeah,
it
it's
just rolled
sick.
off the
Very
tongue
cool.
nice. Yeah.
It does. Yeah, actually, now that you say that, I might change my middle name.
Ethan.
That. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
like,
All right. Very sick.
it just, that way it just makes him sound a little autistic, and that's also like an ode to you. Right?
All right. Well, that's
kinda like he has a
You
stutter.
guys aren't hearing that one.
So you can't tell.
I
like,
definitely
yeah, he's got a little bit of a stutter. So Ethan Catanzaro. And it's like, hang on, what? And I just figured
Oh,
that
boy.
I don't know. I just thought that was a good paid tribute to you.
Yeah. I'll take it. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? So, while we're talking about that, why don't we maybe talk about Supercross? What did you think of the East-West shootout last night?
Yeah, speaking of the TISM, Deegan rode. Deegan rode great. You know, speaking of the TISM, he rode awesome. Let's see. So where were they? They were in Alabama. Don't cut that out.
Okay.
Tag him in it. No, he did great. He got docked, I guess, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, he got penalized. So let me pull up the clip.
Yeah, I didn't see a video. I saw like a screenshot. So it was in the split lane. Now, a rule's a rule, right? I guess. But a couple of questions I would have. Was he just doing this every lap? Was it by accident one time? Also,
no, it's just definitely by accident because I didn't even catch it in the race. A lot of the time he was going inside in the first corner to outside and then tripling out. And you'll see it right here. You can see it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So he skips the first one and then hits the last one, two, misses the third, the last one.
Well, no, yeah, he just missed the first one and then got in there. So there's no advantage. I don't think there would be any advantage to that other than maybe there could have been a bump he was missing. Right. But the reason those markers are set up in the split lane is so that you don't go like inside, you know, and cheat the split. So that's not him cheating the split, but I do see where a rule's a rule. And in that situation, like you can't, I don't know. But then I think to like Formula One and those guys get bumped off the track sometimes or MotoGP and then they re-enter. And it's kind of one of those, like, that's not cutting the track. That's like, he was offline.
I think that's what they considered it.
Yeah. That doesn't, that's kind of messed up.
The crappiest part is too, and like, not to sound like I'm glazing him, but he was that would have been 6 wins in a row. So,
and they actually counted him as a second. Like they took them away?
Well, he got first. They docked him a position because of that.
Yeah, I mean that's. You wonder what that does to his bonus, like if Yamaha or whoever honors that.
Yeah.
Or not.
But I mean, he's got a crazy points lead right now. Like, I think 40.
Yeah,
40
so it doesn't really
maybe
matter when it comes to that, but still, I don't know, kind of lame. I say lame, but then a rule is a rule, I guess. But I don't know. I'd love to see. To speak on this properly, I would need to see what the rule actually says.
Actually is, yeah.
Yeah.
Who the heck knows? Speaking of penalties, did you watch the whole night? Because I think it was the East 250 heat towards the end there. Evan Ferry took out Pierce Brown, and he got a wicked fine.
He did?
He got 5 championship points, 2 license points, and a monetary fine.
What?
For what had happened, yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It was actually like, I mean, it was like kind of exciting to watch, but...
He really got that much?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense because people take people out all the time. And it honestly... I mean, from the angle I saw, it was a very, very aggressive, but it like wasn't crazy. Huh.
There you go.
I mean, that's not bad at all. He hit his front tire. He didn't even hit his body.
Now, maybe.
And hey, what I will say.
Yeah,
Pierce Brown had.
We've seen a lot worse.
No, totally. And Pierce Brown was just railing the rut. Like, you just passed the dude, and was it the last transfer spot?
It was for the last transfer spot.
So if you just pass a guy for the last transfer spot, hey, dude, don't hit the rut like that.
Yeah.
Maybe protect your inside a little bit more.
Yeah, but I can't believe it. I'm pretty sure it was. Let me just verify before I put my foot in my mouth. I'm almost positive it was that big of a fine.
And I think sometimes that what happens is the fast guys, they take some of these passes for granted, and they think that a privateer won't will respect their authority and won't stick up for themselves and try to make a pass back. And I like that because they should. It makes, dude. I think about this all the time. Actually, depending on who you are, your race could be so much easier or so much more difficult just because people will let you by. And I remember this for many years of my career. If somebody had a ride, like I would just kind of assume that they were supposed to be in front of me. So if they passed me, I was just like, yeah, sure. Okay. I'll latch on. There was never a thought of I'll go back by them. Right. Which is silly, where then I think of it the other way around, where there's guys that like look at other people and think that guy shouldn't be in front of me for another corner. And so they just go through them. That wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. I didn't think so either. Speaking of passes, we've got the Tomac Justin Cooper situation, which was quite entertaining. Like not entertaining, but like quite wild to see live. Right, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just wrong place, wrong time too. Like, so what happened there is Cooper was like in a stall. See how he did the right thing with Roxon, although he just exaggerated it too much because he should have known that was Roxon. He should have known that Roxon would pass him cleanly. So like there was no reason to stand up quite that much. Yeah, I don't know why he stood it up quite as much as he did. And then so at that point now he's just falling, right? If there was no rider there, he could easily save it because he would save it with acceleration. But because Tomac all of a sudden appeared, he couldn't accelerate. So he had no choice but to continue to just tip over. I've actually seen people's legs get stuck in the back of a bike from that exact type of corner situation. It was like the block pass kind of stall out. Oh, I'm falling and I've got nowhere to go. It's happened to me, actually. I've ended up in the back of somebody's bike before. I don't know whose. But it was back when I had knee braces. So it was kind of fine.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as scary as I would have thought. I know Justin Cooper in the interview, he was concerned about getting burned, he was getting burned, which that makes sense. And he goes, Tomac was just clutching it.
Trying to get out of there.
Which sounds about right. But it's wild to see the miscalculation happen sometimes at even the highest level. Yeah,
100%. I mean, like, not only that, then the air box cover comes off, the air filter comes out, and that puts him in dead last. He ended up getting lapped. Tomac did, right? So you see Tomac for like the next couple of corners after that, like not knowing what's going on, or maybe he did. Cooper passes him, and then you see him pull off. I mean, that was the first time he went to the LCQ since 2019. Like, just it's wild to see that kind of fluke things happen, like you said, right? So
it's crazy to think that he hasn't been in an LCQ since 2019. Like, how many things that can go wrong?
Yeah,
in 17 Supercross races in 1 year. That's pretty incredible. But yeah. So I was kind of into it. I wasn't nearly as into it as like Indy. Or maybe
Indy was much
I was big time into that one. This one, the track was
Seattle was good.
Seattle was great. The track was a little bit. I think it was one of those where watching it just didn't look like super fun. The split lane I think actually did work out okay because it was pretty even. The line that Deegan got docked for, which would have been inside than outside, seemed to be actually slower most of the night, but it was close.
It was close, but I think if you went outside inside, you just got a better line. You got the inside into the next rhythm, right? So,
and it was a cool spot because as a rider, you could see that. So let's say the person in front of you was going outside than inside. You would want to, for a lot of the situations, do the opposite so that you could at least just show a wheel and let them know, like, I'm here, even if by the end of it, they'd be back in front of you again. It's a way to just let them know that you're there. I know that at the beginning of, I think it was the main, Cole Davies was hitting the wrong line. He was going inside outside for too long and he was losing too much time. And then he realized it by like lap 3 or 4 and switched it up. Speaking of Cole Davies, I wish he spoke a little bit more openly about, I think he just said he didn't feel great. Not body-wise, like he just wasn't riding great. And I wanted more, I wanted him to be a little bit more specific. It almost looked like he had arm pump. He was riding with no intensity or aggression at all later in the race. Like he looked fantastic the first few laps and it looked like he was just kind of taking his time. But then after that, I'm like, there's no intensity here. So yeah, something was up there because he was still hitting some sections fast, but he just wasn't cornering fast. anymore.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely not like him, but that was a good race to watch. I mean, seeing Deegan go from 10th to first, like all the passes those guys were making, and then even at the end, did you catch Shimoda's little mishap? 2 corners to go.
Yeah. Yep. That was
That was a bummer.
That was interesting to see how that all played out too. Like, I'm trying to think back to the last turn. Like, what did Shimoda do in the very last turn? Oh no, he blew it in the second to last turn. That's right. So it was
Second to last turn, yeah. And then Hammaker just had got a good drive out of the corner, so he was gone.
That's a bummer. Because that's for those guys too. Like, they get bonus for podium, but not for fourth, right? So that was probably a loss of a good chunk of change. I would say at least maybe 20 or 30 grand.
No way.
Probably for a third, a bonus for a third. I would guess maybe even more.
On that topic, right? So I went to a buddy's house to watch the race last night, and they were kind of asking like what the pro guys make, right? So I don't know if you have like much insight, and obviously you're a little bit removed from the pro scene right now, but I feel like unless you're top of the food chain, you're not living like a king. You're definitely all right, but it's nothing I would say to brag about, right?
Well, I think say a rider's name and I'll take a guess.
I don't know. I don't want to put any on the spotlight. Let's just say a guy like Max Vaughan on Club MX.
Okay, yeah, good one. So I would guess that he's probably getting a small salary of maybe, let's say, 50 to 70 grand a year.
Okay.
And then he's able to keep his race winnings, which at that point he's not probably getting bonuses. His bonuses on that team are probably for top 3, I would think. So he's getting race winnings from like the AMA or from Feld. Forget who pays that. I think Feld pays that. And so you could probably stack another $1,000 to $1,500 a weekend. Let's say $1,500 a weekend on top of that salary. So maybe he's making $130 a year. And but you're also, well, he rides for Club Max, so he's training for free. Yeah, so he's probably making $130 a year, like a Volan.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So that's actually more than I would have thought.
Oh, really? But that is me completely speaking out of my butt. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, Cohen, make sure to put that sentence in there.
But let's see. Maybe like a Shimoda. So, and again, completely guessing. I have no clue. There's a lot of people that are really tied in. Like, if you were to ask Adam Cincerello this question at Verona, he could give you really accurate answers. Although I did just see an interview with him, and I think it was him, that said, if you were making 200 as a 250 guy, like, you're killing it. I thought I heard that somewhere. And that's kind of where my head's at. Most of these guys, like a Shimoda's for sure probably one of the higher paid. He's probably getting.
Oh, yeah.
I would guess he's probably getting like maybe 250 salary.
Yeah.
Maybe. He's also a guy like Shimoda would be getting paid, unlike Club. I would guess that Club, all of their stuff is in one salary, where Shimoda is getting paid from Factory Honda. Then he's getting paid from Fox. Let's say maybe he makes 100 from Fox.
Company. Yeah.
Could be less. So yeah, a guy like that, decent, but he's the top of the top, really.
Top of the food chain.
Yeah. The middle tier dudes, it could get dicey really quick. So even if you look at like a who's doing really well this year on Club, the kid that got mad at me, Yoder's probably, he either isn't not getting a salary, or he's probably getting a salary of like 20 grand or 30 grand.
Interesting.
Right. So by the time you add in race winnings to the bottom line of that, you're talking 40 to 70 grand a year, maybe. Right. And that's kind of what I was working with. A lot of my career was probably 30 to 60.
Interesting.
Yep.
One person I want to give a shout out, because I just think it's actually really cool. Because you see the privateers, they do a bunch of different stuff. They'll sell merch, they'll do this, they'll do that. When I was in Glendale, Bobby Piazza, you heard that name before?
Yeah.
He has people sign his bike, so you can like sign his bike that he goes out and races with, right? For I think it's like $20 or something like that. And I mean, the bike is covered. The whole bike is covered in signatures.
Really?
So I just think that's really cool.
That's a good idea.
to see how different guys make their program happen. He does some pretty cool content too.
I saw him a few years ago. He was doing one where you could pay to go up and rev his bike.
No way.
Yeah, but he got yelled at.
That.
So because it was in the pits and it was just very loud. But so that was that's creative. That's good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So shout out, because I spoke to him for a few minutes when we were out there. He's a really nice guy. Actually, the guy who does our banners and our tents, Mason, is pretty close with him. So he gave me the good cosign on him. But
it's all about like, there's some people that are much better at that than others, and that makes a big difference. When you're in a situation adjacent to where I was most of my career, which was in the 250 class, like your main event dude, but that doesn't really amount to much, and 450 like on a pretty consistent main event guy at some points. And there was a lot of expenses involved, and I was riding for a lot of the times my own program. So there was a lot of stress that I just had to bring together the funding to make sure. And I remember there was a lot of years where I was probably putting together $40,000 to $60,000 budgets from sponsors. And it was enough to cover all the costs, pretty much all of the years, which was killer. So that way I could actually pay a couple of some of the bills that I had with the other money. But yeah, it's dicey. It's a dicey way to make a living.
For sure.
You want to make sure you're going to be really good at it if you're going to do it.
That's why I think content plays a big factor nowadays. I mean, you look at like Dayton Briggs, for instance, like he kills it. You know what I mean? He probably makes a good chunk of change and is able to support his program just off the TikTok videos he makes to sell merch, right? So you just got to get creative, really, at the end of the day. Not that I know anything about running a pro program, but I mean, content is how I supported my business for years. So
the easy answer is you just have to think of yourself as a business. That's it. That doesn't just apply for dirt bike riders. If you just look at yourself as a business and as a brand, that's what it is. And I think a lot of people don't believe in themselves enough, or just don't understand that, or feel maybe like that's embarrassing. But yeah, when you can start to do it's so important to be able to do that in moto. What else? Birmingham. There's probably nothing else that I want to talk about. Was there anything else?
I got this Prado clip. If you want to take a look at this real quick. Let me see. I don't really. Looks like he kind of just G'd out on the face and encased a little bit. I don't know if there's much to say about this one.
I have only seen him hitting the ground. I did not see like if there's a clip of showing what the takeoff is. By the way, your screen's frozen.
Is it frozen?
Yep.
Oh wait.
There we go.
Sorry.
Is it only the landing?
Yeah, it is. I did find an angle of it last night on TikTok, but I couldn't.
Oh no, there we go. Okay. What? Okay, interesting. So I mean, he kind of did the right thing. He went for table over 2. Oh, so he overshot the single at table before it. So he kind of G'd out a little bit too much. So it didn't look like it G'd out into an endo, but it G'd out into just like, I don't have enough speed.
Yep.
He should have probably cased that a little bit more front tire first, honestly. I know it's easier said than done when you're jumping 80 feet into the face of a very steep landing, but yeah, his front tire his forks didn't get a chance to compress enough. So of course that's going to kick you into an endo. Now the risk of landing front tire first there is you might not crash or you might not endo, but you could break your wrist on impact of just smacking the face that hard, right? So he honestly kind of landed in like the worst possible spot. I personally would have got my front end down a little bit more than that, I think. And I bet you that bike would have handled it.
I would have just jumped off, did a barrel.
Yeah, no, like the jump off conversation. Let's see. So yeah, if you were a little bit less experienced guy, I guess you probably could have made the decision there to push the bike down. So then the bike wouldn't have ended up on the landing at all. And then he probably would have scooted down the landing perfect if he had done that, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's just me making a guess. I mean, I wouldn't be out there in the first place. But
that's funny. Jump off is not
never really the option.
Well,
I feel like you want to just.
no,
I
and
mean, I guess maybe in some
for me, I've jumped
but,
off a few times, and like when you know,
Yeah.
but that's a crazy thing to have to do, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, good thing I am retired now, and I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
right?
same.
So, speaking of retirement, I might actually be coming out of retirement. Just ordered a top end kit for my 125, so we might be back in action here soon. We'll see.
Oh, wait,
So
so
I'm
you
pretty
still
stoked.
have that
Pretty
bike?
stoked. Yeah, I mean, when I posted it in like 24, I was getting offers for like 3 to 4 grand for the thing, and I was just like, "What? I might as well just keep the dang thing, right?" So we decided to keep it, and at this point, I mean, it's 2026 now. The bike's almost 5 years old. There is no point in getting rid of it. It's a fun bike to run around or ride around on. So
Speaking of selling a bike, what any progress on?
the gas.
Yeah.
I just got the invoice for the graphics. So
Oh, okay.
I took the listing down. I'm going to throw the graphics on it when they come in, and then I'm going to throw it up for the price you said, and fingers crossed.
Funny. Keep us
it works
updated on
out.
that. Let's see if that strategy works. Yeah.
For sure. So, I have confidence because, I mean, my bike sold so fast, and the guy, when I talked to him, he's like, "Yeah, I looked at your profile and I could tell it was legit." So, yeah, here we are, right? So, yeah. So if you guys want to sell your bikes faster, just shoot me a DM. We'll get you on the media team, and then you can run some graphics.
Well, I do think it's
we'll get from there.
reputable, or it's certainly easier to sell a bike when you're a reputable person, right?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
when somebody could just look at your profile and be like, okay, this people know this guy. Even if that doesn't have to be like there's levels to that, but yeah, I think it'll work. Keep us updated. What else is happening in the world of dirt bikes? Do we have any like how are the app people doing? We got any podcast questions? What are we working with?
One. The podcast questions have been actually pretty inactive as of recently. So if you guys are listening still, get in the app and ask us #podcast questions inside the community feed, because I mean, I go through there before every episode and try to pull as many as I can. But you get an opportunity to get featured on an episode. I pop you up on the screen, and we answer your questions. So we do have one. It's from Eric Beer, and he goes, "In my region and likely others, there are a ton of sandbagging in the C class, and it can be discouraging at times. Top 5 C class guys put down lap times that would put them top 5 in B. I acknowledge it's all for fun, and I don't stress about where I land in the pack as long as I get some good battles in. However, it can feel discouraging at times to go out in a race with guys that are way faster. Any advice on mindset going into these types of scenarios?"
Super good question, and common, real common. I mean, probably happening more in C class than anywhere else, right? Like you see cameraman Cam out there in C class.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Just kidding. I think Cam is a good. Well, it depends. I mean, you could go to some racing districts and Cam would fit right in the C class, and you would go to others and it would feel like he's sandbagging. But yeah. So mindset wise, you just have to. I mean, very simple in concept. You just have to remember that you're there for you, and the other people don't really have any relevance to your situation. You're there for you. And if there's a handful that are the obvious sandbaggers, then certainly if you're going to put any weight on where you end up against other people, just put them out of the equation altogether. There's so many things that when you go to a race, you can focus on, like line choice, clearing more obstacles maybe you have before, maybe hitting inside lines that you were avoiding before, smoothing out corners, linking together sections, like riding with both feet on the pegs. Standing more is a huge one for a lot of people. There's so many things that you can work on that are about you, as opposed to worrying about the competition. And it's just, most people are programmed to worry about the competition. And I think we're conditioned that way from the time we're little. Like you think about school sports, and it's all about winning from such a young age, because that's all the parents were raised. That's just all anyone knows about competition, is you think that it has everything to do with the other people. And when in all reality, competition has only everything to do about you. Right. Yeah. But I could sit here and talk until I'm blue in the face in saying that, and it's very hard to grasp until you grasp it, and then it's like you live in a different reality altogether. And I think
100%.
I've maybe told this to you, and I've certainly said this at some point in the podcast, but I've been talking about this a lot at classes lately, a lot these last 2 days even, is that I say when you're forming a habit, you cannot make exceptions and justify reasons as to when you can and cannot do it. Or, you know, I'm racing this weekend, so I've got to go fast. So I'm going to worry about technique. You know, after this weekend, I'm going to put my foot out in the corners and do all the things that I shouldn't do during this race because I have to go fast. And the fact of the matter is you'll never form the new habit because you're always going back to your old self. And almost threw up. Hang on. And we're back. And when you can start operating in that way, everything's different. Everything's different. You can go to a Supercross race like I did in 2023 and have fun. Who would have thunk? You know, who's listening to this podcast right now that races a lot or has tried to race before and you didn't have fun? Probably a lot of people. And I spent most of my life not having fun at races. I thought that was just normal, but it was because I was anxious and I was a stressed out mess because I was worried about everything and everyone but me. Ethan, you've raced before. Have you had races where you didn't have fun? Or did you have a good mindset all the time when you raced?
I think I maybe had my moments where I didn't have a good mindset, but I mean, for the most part, like I never had the opportunity to make it a very consistent thing growing up. Like it was here and there. I'd ride on the weekends and then I wouldn't ride for 6 months and be like, all right, I'm going to go race, which I think is a terrible idea. But I always just went into it with the mindset of I'm going to let the gate drop. I'm going to count to 5. I'm going to let everybody go. And
okay.
I'm going to work my way up. And that's normally always what I did. And as long as I didn't get dead last, it was a win for me. I mean, I took a break from around the time I was 14, 15 to probably like 18 or 19. I didn't ride at all. I got that YZ 125 that I was talking about before. I went and did a race at the good old Clav Natty. It was a 40-man gate. I was crapping my pants just because like I hadn't raced in 5-6 years, and I'm like, well, I'm obviously not going to go for the start, right? So I'll have to show the video to you. My dad said, Ethan, like, let everybody go off the gate. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I ended up like, concrete start, cold tires. I did a 360 on the start, like literally full spin, and then went. And then the second moto, I just let everybody go. But I ended up getting 20th, both motos. I think 20th and 21st, right? So I ended up passing more than half the field. But to me, that was such a major win. Because I didn't care about winning. I just wanted to have fun and, pass a couple people.
And you were a nervous wreck because it just was scary because there were a lot of bikes?
Oh, it was just maybe a lot of bikes, but then also like I hadn't really rode or raced in almost half a decade, right? So that's really more what it was. I mean, after that, like I raced a handful more times and like I had more seat time under me. So I wasn't really nervous. I mean, I get nervous on the line maybe just because like, okay, it's go time. But even then, I'd still do the same thing. I'd let everybody go and try to work my way up, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not going pro. I'm racing local C class, and I'm going to get a piece of plastic at the end of the day.
Did somebody else suggest that strategy of let everyone go? Or whose idea was that?
It was my dad for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he just doesn't want to see me get hurt, right? Because I'm just like him in the sense that like, might try to send it a little bit and get myself hurt. I mean, he had so many injuries growing up, broke his femur, probably broke just about every bone in his body riding, right? So I just didn't think he wanted to see me do that. And he knows I'm pretty calculated. And if he tells me that, I'm gonna listen. And I did. And, fortunately, I've never really had any injuries I've never crashed in a race hard enough to where I couldn't finish it, right? So, I think riding for me is fun. I knew at a very early age that I wasn't going to be pro, so why risk it for the biscuit?
The letting
right?
everyone go strategy is great. Actually, we did a video with Vinny an app member last summer, and it was his first race. And that's exactly what we had him do, which I don't think that's pretty uncommon.
Oh, for
which
sure.
Which it shouldn't be. If it's your first race ever, or if you're there, just have fun, and the anxiety of all the other bikes is what is making you nervous, as it should, because that's where most of the danger is. Let everybody go. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, especially too, because like, you know, I'm a pretty decent rider, so like I knew I could pass a couple of people. So like, yeah, it was always fun to see if I could catch up to the people after I give them a little bit of a head start. And 9 out of 10 times I did. I mean, the last time I raced last year, it was like maybe April. Ty was there, maybe 20 guys. I ended up getting I was in third. I made my way up to third. I ended up crashing, actually not crashing, but there was a rock in one of the lines I hit, and I tipped over, and I ended up getting like 11th. But I made my way all the way up to third from dead last. So that was pretty cool, actually.
My dad used to always have me do it. Let everybody go. That is.
Yeah.
And I would always still come back and win. Shout out. But
funny enough, so Ty did a race on the Stark that weekend too. He let everybody go for 30 seconds and ended up winning the moto. I mean, granted, there's only like 5 guys total in the pro sport class that day, but he let everybody go and ended up passing him. And not many people were excited about it. He ended up getting protested and didn't do the second moto. But
and he was on the Stark?
It was pretty entertaining to watch. He's on the Moto Academy Stark. So everybody's like, what is going on right now? Like, you could see all the spectators like not watching the race and watching Ty. And was
he pretending like the bike wouldn't work?
No, he literally like rode up to the top of the hill, like right past the whole shot line, and just watched. And like everybody, you could see everybody freaking out like in the spectator area. It was honestly hilarious to watch.
So my dad would tell me like, hey, pretend like your bike stalled.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you know, on an 85, just sitting there pretending and fumbling around, like pretending the bike wasn't working, and then get the bike started up and take off and see how long it took me to catch everybody. Just the disrespect if Dave Drakes is listening to this episode. Yeah, I would do it, and I would still just lap Dave Drakes. It was unreal. I would let everybody go.
Speaking of Dave, I'm walking through I think actually I went to the industry seating at Daytona. And I'm like I'm walking, and I saw Dave, like out of nowhere, just saw Dave. It was the coolest thing in the world.
I think he was there for a while. It sounded like, I don't know if he must have been doing something with Cobra, but I think he was in Daytona.
Yeah, he was in there for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in there. I saw him at the second day of the amateur race. He was there for 3-4 days. We hung out for a little bit. Yeah, shout out Dave. I missed Dave. I haven't seen him in a while.
He tried calling me today. He's driving from Texas to Michigan today. For some reason, that's right. Miserable.
They bought a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but
yeah.
Shout out.
So they must be moving some things, I would imagine. But
that's a hike.
Sounds like it would not be that close. Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's from like New York to Florida is what, like 24 hours?
24 hours. So yeah, I would guess
it's probably close to 30.
Yeah, probably. I don't miss those days. When I was little, I felt like that's all that would happen was the drives from Connecticut and Florida and back. And
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of fortunate I was never a good amateur, because that sounds horrible.
Oh, and then back in the days too, we're like, I don't know how my dad, he would use an atlas, you know, like a big map to try to get somewhere. Yeah. And then you get so you have the countrywide atlas to be able to figure out which highway you're on. Okay, cool. And then you use the state one when you got to get a little closer and you're starting to take some other turns. And then the strategy was, when we would just get close enough, we would start asking people. Crazy. Yep. I don't know. I guess that was normal, but like, how the heck did me and my dad in a old conversion van make it to like Ponca City, Oklahoma from Connecticut and figure out how to get to that track? I have no clue. And it was like very much on me a lot of the time to like be reading this atlas and just like, whoa. Yeah. And then sometimes if my dad would get tired, I'm driving the conversion van and trailer, and I'm 12 years old at 10 p.m. just horrified.
Yeah.
Like, man, The things were different.
It's wild to think about that because like a lot of people can't survive without going 20 minutes down the road with their Google Maps up, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I
included.
can't, especially be it at my dad's house now. Like, I'm not too familiar with the area, so I got to use the GPS quite frequently. I couldn't imagine having to do that, like, at all.
I put it on to just get around my town. I guess it's a habit at this point. I could probably figure it out, but yeah, I just toss it on. I think it is more just habit. I could definitely figure it out, but I don't.
No.
I don't.
So before we sign off, because we're getting close here, are you staying with us for Airway, or do you have your own spot?
We have not booked our own spot yet. The plan was to book our own spot, and then Allie yesterday said, "Oh, we just stay in the house." I was like,
Okay.
So, well, I don't know.
I think I have something that might convince you. So Jackson's driving down for that one, and he's bringing his Xbox. So we want to do a reflex tournament. We got to bring it back. Grant sent in a picture of the standings from when you guys did it last, maybe 2-3 years ago. So I think we do a reflex 30.
Have you heard?
You.
Oh,
Yeah, I know it's you.
In. Okay.
I know it's you. Yeah, but I wasn't on the team yet, so
are you? So
I just
you're good?
Hope that's AJ.
Do we have any other new guys? Ty has
Ty is actually probably sneaky good at reflex, to be honest with you. When he broke his shoulder a couple years ago, we were playing MX bikes like pretty frequently, and you can sign up for these races online. Ty would like win every weekend. I don't know how. I mean, granted, we're like in the C class of the game, right? But even still, like he would just check out, and I don't know how. So I'm excited for that. We might have to make a little piece of content.
Wow,
I think that could be a lot of fun.
It's been a while, but the last time we had played, it was because we were. Oh, when I got the Mercedes Sprinter van, I'm like, oh, this would be a cool thing to have an Xbox in. So I bought an Xbox, and then I'm like, well, the only game we need for this is Reflex. So I then bought Reflex. Yep. And it was when we had Moto out for the trip giveaway. Yep. We were in Florida. We went to Daytona. We rode this amazing private track in Florida, and we played Reflex that whole weekend. It came back pretty quick because I had all the track. Yeah. I of course, memorized for sure all of the tracks, and it just like at first I couldn't really keep the bike on the track super well because everything was like I hadn't played video games in so long that I was overcorrecting. But after 30 minutes of playing, all of it came right back. I'm like, okay, I'm good again.
Yep.
Now it's been since then till now, so it's been probably, how long ago was that? 3-4 years?
Probably 3, going on 4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so Reflex.
Well, I'm excited.
If you're good at Reflex, hit us up. Give us some of your lap times, sometimes to beat. But
Moto's just they've been doing a lap time challenge. I don't know if they stopped doing it, but I saw like a couple weekends in a row they were doing like a lap time challenge for some kind of prize. So
on Reflex?
Maybe we do that. Yeah. It's like all the Supercross rounds, like Stone Point. That's a classic right there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, if you want to get some practice in, AJ, I can go remote desktop your computer, download Reflex for you, and get you set up.
Yeah, maybe I should. But that's hilarious. Yeah, still, I mean, I'm so far removed from video game land at this point, but gosh, that game was so solid. And I feel like none of the dirt bike games compare.
No, that was the pinnacle. In my opinion, that's the pinnacle. That game was, I mean, I spent my whole childhood on that game, literally. Me and my cousins would put 10-minute timers on the microwave at my grandma's house. And like, as soon as that timer went off, they were grabbing that controller out of your hand, and then you would restart it. Like for hours, we would just do that over and over, so everybody got equal playing time.
To think of the amount of time. What were some other games that you played when you were little?
I mean, obviously all the MX versus ATV games, but I'm trying to think. There's like one with like a dragon on the PS2, Spyro maybe.
Spyro?
I don't know. Yeah, it was like one of the games that like came with the PlayStation. I don't know. I've played just about everything. I mean, like I'm a big sports games like 2K, Madden.
I was a
MLB.
I was a Halo guy for the original Halo.
Yeah,
so I don't know what age that would have put me at, but probably 11 or 12 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, played a ton of Halo from my memory. Before then, I feel like it was Medal of Honor. I don't know if that would have been before your time. Do you remember that game?
No, I played Medal of Honor on my PSP. That was one of the games I had for it, actually. I do know Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor, great one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before then, it probably would have been more dirt bike games, like maybe like Supercross Circuit or something on like PS1.
Yeah. Oh, how could I forget? Tony Hawk, Pro Skater.
Oh yeah, I played that a
Underground
ton.
Wasteland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good. Obviously Skate. Yeah. I mean, Blockbuster closed by us maybe 2010. So like we rented all the games like a couple days before they closed, and then obviously just never brought them back because they closed. So we had to just stack.
Because when you knew they were closing.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty common knowledge. Like everything was getting sold out, or maybe we bought them and I was just young and thought we rented them and didn't bring them back. But yeah, we had a whole stack of PS3 games. So I was
Wow!
living like
Shout out! We had a Blockbuster and a Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yes.
Man,
Oh
I used
my
to be
gosh.
so excited.
Yeah, I mean, even just going to get like a movie for the weekend, like it's crazy that now you could just Google it on your phone and you have it in 5 minutes, right?
Shame.
Like, yeah,
There was so much. Yeah, there's just that little bit of the instant gratification nowadays. It's a killer.
it's ridiculous. I mean, even like I feel like people don't go to the movies anymore. The movie theaters are like dying. It's like a dying art. I haven't gone to the movies in forever.
And it's a cool
Actually,
experience too. Allie and I just went to the movie theater last week or the week before for the first time in years and years and years. And we went to see The Housemaid.
Okay, I've seen the posters for that one.
With Sydney Sweeney, and it's cool. It's a different. It's a cool experience because the movie theater, they're reacting, right?
Yeah, it's immersive, right?
So if it's funny. If there's a funny moment, like it's more funny because everyone's laughing. I don't know. Yeah, it made me remember that. Oh, it's a totally different experience going to the movie theater.
No, I forgot actually. When I went to the Dog Pound that day, Steven was dead set on going to the movies to see Scream 7. And when Captain Kirk asked Dazzy if we can go see Scream 7 with Tate, he said absolutely not. So we went and saw a different movie. But yeah, we went to the movies. And that movie theater had reclining seats, right? So we all sit down in the first spot we find. Tate's doesn't recline. So then we move again. Then two people's don't recline. So like we moved seats like probably 5 times until we found a row that had all the recliners working. But yeah, that was an awesome time.
Who brought Tate? You guys?
Yeah, we drove Tate and then dropped him off at Dazzy's house afterwards.
That's funny.
So it was literally the whole day with Tate. I mean, I was just going back and watching some of the videos from that day yesterday. It was, oh my gosh, so fun. Those guys were just like Tate and Steven together is just so awesome.
And Tate is living the dream. I mean, he goes to the Dog Pound and just cruises around. Well, when I was there, he would put on his backpack and he would ride either the little 4-wheeler that was there or he'd have like a CRF 110 and just cruise around all day. And
he's got a 230 now and he's about to get a 300.
Really?
So he's got some power now. Yeah.
Wow, he's leveling up. Yeah, because he was putting in good lap times when I was there, but he's got to be on a mission cruising now. And then he was also like the guardian of the whole place. Like he would talk so much crap to every single person that went there.
Oh my God, dude. It has not. I mean, when I FaceTimed you the one day. Oh, that had me cracking up. Oh
yeah, Allie, when we ended that call, Allie was like, does he remember me? And I'm like, I don't know. It's hard to tell with Tate. Like he could have been talking crap out of sarcasm because he did remember you or like, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did because like his reaction when Allie said, "Do you remember me being your girlfriend?" He made a face. I think he did. But when I said, "Do you remember AJ?" and he walked away. He's like, "Oh, I'm not talking." I'm like, Tate. What the heck, dude?
That's hilarious.
Oh man. So good.
Well, we've done it. Episode 182 basically talked about nothing. So there you go, guys. Apply it for your scholarship for the Moto Academy. Apply to be an ambassador. If you listen to a lot of these podcasts, especially if you listen this deep into an episode, shout out Driver Jamie. Shout out
Burt Bellinger. Alex Panda.
Shout out Alex Panda. Shout out
my grandma and my mom are probably listening right now too.
Ethan's grandma. Shout out Mark 24. Shout out to Leatherman. Shout out to The Real GP.
Yep.
There's plenty of people that listen this deep into the episode, but if you're listening and I didn't just shout you out, go to themotoacademy.com, click the ambassador tab, and apply to be an ambassador because You get access to our gear. You get access to our team. We have 2 new colorways coming out. We got red, white, and blue. What's the latest on the other color?
We have to just make a decision.
Okay.
I have some ideas, but we just need to set our foot down and lock it in.
I heard something about there being 4 final ones, and I hadn't seen.
I'll bump them.
Okay.
I think I have one that I think we should go with just for summertime, but obviously I can't make the final decision, right? So I'll bump them up in the chat again.
Cool. So we're gonna have the red, white, and blue kind of for summer, and then we're gonna have, the plan is more of like what will be a neutral colorway with some grays and blacks that can be more of your like a staple kit to wear all the time. And the stuff's killer. It's got a pocket, fits great, pants fit unbelievable. They last a long time. Jerseys are awesome. And you can't buy the gear. So if you want to represent, and shout out to all of the current TMA ambassadors, I'm seeing more and more like posting going on, which is cool. A lot of
shout out Jace Matson for
yes.
the one-handed selfie video. That was sick.
Yeah, so like Jace, a video like that, like Jace Matson being creative, holding, I mean, it couldn't be any more on brand TMA, doing a one-hand drill, holding in the Insta360, tagging Insta360, tagging us, like that's a definition of the type of stuff that is cool. And
yeah, that's good content. That's
for
really
sure.
Good content.
Totally. And
I'm like, I won't be afraid to ask you guys to collab on that kind of stuff either. Like if I see something I really like, I'm going to ask for a collab 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times. So just an extra incentive there.
Yeah. So if you want a little follower boost, and you can leverage our team to be able to ask, like, what do I do? How can I do this?
Yep.
And then you can just practice being unembarrassable with us at the Moto Academy, because if you want to be able to get to that next level of sponsorship or creating value for your brand, which is you should be posting a lot. And to post a lot,
yep.
You've got to care. You've got to take life a little bit less seriously. Right? I mean, dude, it's constantly. Even the other day, like Cohen, I think, edited a post which was fine. It wasn't even bad. It was me talking about Hunter and how I said Carmichael kind of put all the blame on Cole Thompson. I'm like, that was kind of Hunter's lack of awareness more than anything. Now, when you listen to the full podcast, you get the context.
You get the context.
But it's when you just clip it into a short form and the context is a little bit eliminated, people can so easily judge what you're saying. And I know a podcast is a different story than you posting a riding clip. Those are 2 different things, but it's still, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
As long as you're you. And I was actually thinking about that. We'll end it on this. Because Dave Drake's always asked me, he's asked this multiple times on the podcast. He's asked me in person as well. He says, AJ, how are you not afraid to just talk the way that you do? And it's not that he doesn't mean that as in like I'm negative or a hater or say bad things about people, but he's like, you just speak so openly and you're not afraid of judgment. Like, how do you do that? And I forget what my answer was for him at the time, but I was reflecting on it the other day. And the answer is because we post so much of me and me talking that everyone, if you listen to enough of it, the truth of who I am comes out. Right? So my insecurity about how one little thing is cut and the context is eliminated and what you judge that one little moment, I'm not concerned about that and I don't have to dance and tiptoe around and try to make everyone happy, because if you just listen to enough of my content, you'll know who I am, and you'll know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm a good person. Right. And not that I care that people think that, but I think that power comes in just being able to post so much content. It's same thing with like an Alex Hormozy, or you see some of these guys that post Gary V. Some of these guys that post so much stuff that if they were a phony, it would eventually, like, you couldn't you'd see it. You couldn't put out that much stuff. Yeah. So
awesome.
Anyhow,
episode 182.
Yeah, what's coming next? Episode 183. What else is coming next in the Moto Academy world? We're ramping up
in a couple of days. I'm sorry.
We're ramping into 5-day camp season is what's happening.
Yeah, so I was gonna say in a couple of days from this episode releasing, we'll be in Washington. How about a 1 or 2 week break? Then we'll be in South Carolina for CGI facility, then Minnesota for Meadow Valley, and then I'm pretty sure East Fork at the end of May. Yep. So, and that's just, I mean, that's light compared to what our June
then that
and
brings
July
us to
be,
June,
so.
And it's gonna go crazy because 3 to 4 a month, all through the summer.
Yeah.
We're going to be good
August
at
is going to be jam-packed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the first day of Moto 101 is my birthday. It's my golden birthday. I didn't even know that.
What's golden birthday?
I turned 24 on the 24th. So we might have to do a little party there or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Did you make up that term, or is that what that's called when you turn your age on your month?
That's what my mom said. We went out for lunch the other day, and she said, "Oh, you're not going to be here for your golden birthday." And I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And so I guess that's when you turn whatever day you were born on, you turn that age, it's your golden birthday. So
I missed mine.
Should be a pretty special day.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yep. This will be my first one.
Well, good luck out there.
Obviously. Yep. Thank you.
Moto Academy. Thank you. I'm going to go throw up with my daughter. Okay. Toodles.